Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel about how to build your house. And today we're going to talk about planning and more plumbing. Plumbing. Maybe let's start from the outside and then we're going to go in and we're going to go through different type and aspects of plumbing. First of all, I would like to start from drainage. So what we need to think about the level of our house to level of our section. We don't want to have any water ingress to the house, and we don't want to have any moisture, we don't want to have any water sitting around the house, so we need to make sure that we have well-designed floor level considering the platform of our section. So for example, in my case, I knew that those 2 points of the house were like the highest point and the section was sloping toward this way. And also here in QLDC you can easily find the level of finishing floor level of your houses around from the plans online, and I knew, for example, the floor level of this neighbor behind and on the side. So I was trying to have my house kind of like to the same level. So once I build and I do all the landscaping, and if there is too much rain or something, the water will go outside of the building. So I don't have any water ingress and don't have any moisture sitting around the foundation. So that's something to consider, because I notice for a lot of people who do fixed price contract build, the cheaper way for builder is just to scrape the soil and build a house rather to bring the fill and compact, because fill is expensive. So think about it, talk to builder and find the level of your section or level of houses around you, so you're not going to end up in like a pit. Another thing is drain laying. So that's something that you can talk either with like architect or draftsman or plumber, because sometimes they want to do the job of drain laying for like all your house connecting to the mains, or maybe if you have like a storage shed or carport or whatever, you need to have some storm water from the roof going to the mains as well. So talk with them if they're gonna dig all the piping straight away or later or when, because you don't want to mess it up when you're gonna put like, I don't know, storage container in a way, and then suddenly they want to dig and they don't have space. And also will be the same for the downpipes around the house. That's something that you can check with. Usually is either job for draftsman or architect, but if you design yourself, you need to know what's the catchment area of your roof, how many downpipes you need, which side of the building it's going to be, and what's the easiest way to drain the water from your house to the mains. I knew, for example, my connection to the mains was like this side, so all my downpipes were on this side of the building, and then I have a shed here, so I had to run one more extra pipe underneath. And also the same plan around your driveway, where it's going to be, where you're going to have your drain strip and where you're going to connect that. And sometimes they need some like a revising pipe, so also check when it's going to be in what position. And of course, once you do all the drain laying, take a lot of pictures, where they're going to be, how deep they go, where it's going to be connected, because later maybe down the track you want to plant a tree or like, I don't know, bring the post for a hammock or something like that, and you forget and you can do some damage. So take a lot of pictures, plan ahead what you're going to be, how deep it's going to be, so you can plan your things outside of the house. Another thing from the outside is outside taps. Usually fairly easy. You want to check one around the driveway so you can wash your car, but I suggest to also consider irrigation. So that's something that people leave till the end and they forgot about having extra taps or water for the irrigation. It's usually right at the end when we don't have money, mortgage is finished and we're going to leave the irrigation for next year, and then later we figure it out we don't have enough taps and then we need to run hoses all around the house. Not ideal. So check with the plumber, discuss that, at least run some taps, run some water so it's ready there waiting for you, and if you need it down the track, it's already somewhere ready for you. Maybe another thing to consider is like a hot tub outside or any other water. If you want to have some water feature or fountain or something like that. Maybe you want to have a sauna on a trailer and then you want to have a shower for that. Maybe you want to have a hot tub or something. So check it out. What do you need? If you need water, if you want to run only cold water and have caliphone over there, or you want to run hot and cold water so you can just hose it and it's ready. So think that what you can plan around your section run some hoses or like some piping, and then it's ready for you. So I think from the outside we're pretty sweet. And for the inside. Inside, the most important room will be probably bathroom. So in the bathroom, you're gonna have shower. So now you need to know if you're gonna have tiles or you're gonna have shower enclosure, and where it's gonna be the waste. If it's gonna be central waste or in the corner or on the side, if it's gonna be strip or no, because you need to know where is the waste, and they need to do that prior to pour the concrete. I use just the shower enclosure. It was easy. I don't need to have a tiler. I don't need to have waterproofing. It's like another trade, another time, more timing, dealing with more people, more expensive, more maybe problems down the track. For shower tray, it's very easy. Just set up the shower tray. I knew it's gonna be like one waste in the corner, and they just put it before the jib, and then they just glue the shower enclosure, job done. If it's with tile, you need to plan ahead when is waterproofing, when do they do that, and discuss that with the tiler or plumber. Another one is vanity. You also need to know where is your vanity, measurements, if it's central or where, because you need to have a waste. And later down the track, you need to know if you're gonna have basin like a recess or on a bench or something like that, because there will be different height of water supply. So think that. The same will be for the shower. You need to know where will be the water supply. Usually plumber, they help with a different measurement, what is the best way to install that. The same will be for the toilet. There are different types of the toilet, different traps, different waste. So you need to pick your toilet prior. And another thing to consider is if you want to have like a bidet or like a bum gun or something like that. In my case, I wanted to use kind of like a spray, and I found out that you can't just connect it to the water. You need to have a special mixer that not allow water go back to the mains. So then you need to plan if you want to have outside water supply of your toilet, or it can be hidden inside, or you want to have kind of like a Japanese style bidet inside your toilet. So they need to run like 2 water supply for the toilet and for that. So check that as well, plan ahead, talk with plumber or in a plumbing shop. Another thing I have in my bathroom is a washer and dryer, fairly easy, just the water supply and waste. But for example, my dryer is stuck on top of the washer and I have plumbed to the waste. So whenever I use the dryer, my water is going directly to the waste and I don't need to pull the drawer to empty it every time when I use the dryer. So very, very handy, but you need to know the position and what you're gonna use. As well, here in my bathroom, I have hot water cylinder. Plan ahead what's the dimension, how big you need it, how big is the cupboard, what water do you need to supply for that, and waste and stuff like that. Will be kind of similar if you want to do underfloor heating. You need to know the position of your manifold. Most of the time, it's suggested to be kind of like central in the house. You can have hot water cylinder anywhere and then you run water to manifold. And from manifold, if you have different zones of the water, it goes just like an easy pipe to different rooms or different zones. But if you put it on the side, then you need to run water from one source across all the house. It gets congested, more piping, more money. So plan that ahead with either plumber or someone who is doing underfloor heating for you. Another room will be kitchen. So for the kitchen, fairly easy. You need to know where's your sink. So again, you need to know your kitchen plan prior to build because you need to know where's your waste and where's the water supply. Most of the time you have under the sink you have dishwasher, so usually it's connected to the same waste. But if it's going to be in a different place, check it out, plan that ahead, check with the plumber. Another thing to consider for the kitchen is the water supply for the fridge. Mine is just like a easy freestanding, but if you want to have maybe like 2-door fridge or like with a water supply or ice cube maker, you need to have water supply for that. So don't forget about it. And another thing for the kitchen and as well for bathroom is ventilation. For the bathroom, most of the time people here use just like a extractor fan that is in the wall. I'm not a big fan of it. Even if it's a fan, I'm not a fan. Because it's just a hole in the wall, like 150 diameter, it's pretty huge. And bathroom, you want to keep it the warmest room of the house, and in the winter it's becoming the coldest. And for example, I have mechanical ventilation in this house, so I just press the button and it runs on maximum speed for 15 minutes, so I can extract all the moisture from the bathroom when I shower. Job done, and it keeps the house warm. But if you need something, think about it when you're going to run your vent, and if it's going to be through the wall or through the eaves and where. You don't want to have too many like pipes and corners to lose the efficiency. Will be the same for the range hood in the kitchen. If you want to have it against the wall or on an island, how you going to run it? Some people like to have motor in the roof space, so it's pretty quiet inside the house. Or you want to have the downdraft, so you also need to prepare that prior pouring the slab. So plan the kitchen, plan with plumber. Another thing to consider is the water filter. For example, I have normal inline filter under the sink, so it's just connected with the cold water. And every time when I use cold water in a kitchen, it goes through like an active charcoal. It removes some like particles, chlorine and bacteria. Even though the water is safe to drink, I still like to keep it more filtered to filter especially chlorine and like fluoride. But I know some people like to have filter prior mains to supply hot water cylinder, because then later you have everything clean within your system of the house, and then you can just change it, I don't know, once a year or something like that. Or you just want to head for the water that you're going to drink. So check it out. What do you need? Check with the plumber what is possible, how dirty is the water for the supply. Most of the time the regulations are very strict with the water supply, so you don't need to worry about removing some like particles, but maybe it's more about like if you want to drink the water from the tap directly and if you want to remove all the bacteria or something like that. So yeah, that's pretty much it for plumbing. Fairly easy. One more thing with the plumbing, make sure you take a lot of pictures, especially outside with the drainage, because everything later is covered and you can't see it easily. And it will be the same for once you run all the water in the walls and stuff like that. Before putting gyp or any lining, take a lot of pictures.